Alright, it seems we are live. This is going to be a short video on the way that I think I'm going to handle NOFIT components on this schematic. I decided to try in this schematic to use a method that excludes components from the BOM list, which involves putting a small cross in front of the component. But unfortunately, what this also means is that the component is excluded from the net list as well. So KiCad uses this symbol to exclude things like power flags from the net list. And what that means is obviously that it's not going to appear on the PCB view. So I needed some different way to do this. And I started looking at how KiCad is generating the references. But I couldn't figure out a way that I was sure wasn't going to generate any kind of side effects. So for example, I looked at perhaps having a different symbol in front, like perhaps a percentage sign, which would then make KiCad generate a reference, but it has to be a reference based on just the R and not the R with the percentage sign. Because what I want essentially is to have NOFIT resistors that follow the same referencing sequence as everything else, as all the other resistors on the schematic. So I don't want to have like a normal R1 and then an R1 that has a percentage sign in front of it, which is the case unfortunately with this with the cross. The referencing algorithm in KiCad will not take care of duplicate numbers, so you will have like, I can have an R78 which is commented out, and I can also have an R78 that is not commented out, and that is currently not handled. And I couldn't figure out any way to do that where I could be completely sure that there wouldn't be any side effects. So what I decided on is actually to create a schematic symbol which is a NOFIT component. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace all of these NOFIT resistors with a NOFIT component, which is going to be of the same size. So instead of having the component that is called with a specific resistance there, I would have to do like res NOFIT 402. And this method is possible since I have all of the components in my component library, where I have reusable components that already have manufacturer numbers assigned to them. So I can solve this problem in this way, but the downside is of course that I cannot then see the value of this component. But I think that can be easily solved by having a separate CSV file where I have all of the NOFIT components, and then I can generate different schematics for different variants where I specifically assign these NOFIT components, where I specifically place certain resistances and replace these NOFIT components with the actual resistors, with the actual components that I have already in my library, which have the specific resistances set. And this method allows me then to have a reference that is just like a normal resistor, but in the BOM, all of these components will be without any manufacturer number, so they will be easy to filter out from the BOM and to not mount on the PCB. So what I have to do now is basically replace anything that is starting with this star to a NOFIT resistor. And also I have to reset all the references so that I can re-annotate the schematic, so that all the NOFIT numbers or references with unique numbers. Because right now if I just replace this star, I will get duplicate resistors. And I think that the best way to do this is actually to edit the schematic in a text editor, because KiCad schematics are all text-based, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to edit the schematic directly in Vim. I've been doing this for different purposes. Whenever I need to modify multiple fields, for example, it's much easier to directly edit it in a text editor rather than going through the graphical editor and trying to edit every single reference. What I have to do here is basically replace anything that starts with a star R, and also replace the numbering after this reference. So I have the first lines that I have to replace is the actual definition of the component, where I have to set this component reference to res NOFIT 0402. And I have to do the same thing for any other component that perhaps has a different packaging. So I have to create separate NOFIT components for capacitors, for resistors that have a different package, etc. But I will start by replacing this line so that I have NOFIT here and I have a reset reference. And we can do this using regex in Vim. I can do like this. I can search for let's see, for this specific the lines that have this specific text, and then I can do like this. Let's see, or actually I can just do like this. So I'll group this so that I have everything that is not a space and more than one character, and I close this group. So this will match, for example, SW embedded colon and then everything in here, but actually I think that I want to match until let's see if I can match until 402, because I don't want to replace anything else that is not a 402 resistor. So maybe I can just start like this. I'll try to find anything that is let's see. Can we do a non-greedy regex here? Let's see. Maybe like this. 0402. Can we get this? Right. Yes, we can do that. But we need to have this line or this text starting with res. Let's see. Yeah. So we have res. Yeah. This seems to match all of the resistors. And next we're gonna also match let's see, so let's see here. And next we're also gonna match this star there, and then we have a reference, and let's see, and then we have a number of digits. So anything that has digits. Let's see, we need to have Vim regexes require that we escape the plus, because it's so common that you search for a normal plus. So it's the syntax is modified a little bit, so you have to always escape the plus. Let's see what this matches. This seems to match all of the resistors that are. Let's go back there. What is that? Yeah, it seems to match all of the resistors that have this. That are currently intended to be NOFIT. Alright, so I can rewrite this regex into a replacement. Let's see. I'll just copy this. And I'll write it like this. Let's see. And then we replace this with the same text, but we have NOFIT 0402. And then we just reset the reference, so it's easy enough there. And actually, yeah, actually I didn't have to group anything there, because I don't need to reuse any text. All I need to do is just replace all of these resistors with a NOFIT component. And global replacement. Let's see what this does. Let's see. So, yeah, forgot an S there. Substitute. Yeah. 23 substitutions. Next we need to replace anything that Let's see, we can replace these strings, so the values of the reference field. So we need to do like this. Let's see, maybe I could just match this R and the digits plus, and like that, and we replace this with R question mark like that. Nope. So yes, of course, got to escape the plus. 23 substitutions, looking good. Next, maybe we have some capacitors. No, we don't. Let's see if we have anything left here. Maybe we have some resistors. It doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be only resistors, and there seems to be only 24 of them. And I'm actually gonna just check my my list of all of the components which I generated previously. Let's see if I still have it up here. Which I generated during the review when I was reviewing the schematic, and I just want to check how many resistors we have here. So I replaced 2 of them. Now I should have... Okay, yeah, I had only 20 of them before, but then I added a few more NOFIT resistors. So this seems to be correct. And now I can just save this file. So I saved everything to Git before doing this, so that I don't unintentionally do something that would break the schematic. And then I'll just reopen the schematic. Let's see. And I should be able to re-annotate, and then I should have all of the resistors also available on the PCB. Let's see. So now we have all of the NOFIT components represented by the specific symbols that are marked as NOFIT. So I think this is satisfactory. I think there's probably better ways to actually implement this in KiCad, because KiCad doesn't have this functionality right now. But until KiCad has this functionality, this is one way to solve this. So let's re-annotate this, and we'll get nice references that follow the rest of the resistor referencing, and we'll also get all of these components in the on the PCB. So update PCB. And by the way, I also want to update the fields. Because this is another, let's see, yeah, now we got all of the NOFIT resistors there. Let's place them there. There's another little issue here, which is the fields of these components. So we still have fields from the old resistors, and I wonder if there is a good way to replace them. Maybe update field values could do this. Yeah, I think we should actually do that. And this should remove all of the fields. Yes, this seems to be what I wanted to do. And just to check, let's see what changes we have done now to this schematic file. So I'm gonna just close the editor, and I'm gonna do git k, let's see, schematic. Let's see what we have as differences here. Okay, so we replaced the commented out resistors with NOFIT. That's fine. All of the fields are removed. That's NOFIT as well. NOFIT, 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 yeah. And what is this? So I think this just had one field, right? This just had an MFN field, so that got removed. This also had MFN field. NOFIT resistor, NOFIT resistor, NOFIT resistor, and more NOFIT resistors. And then we have, yeah, okay, this one, I got that one replaced manually. NOFIT, more NOFIT resistors, and yeah, it seems like it's only the changes that should have been there. So that's it. That's how I currently handle this different schematic variants, and I could then write a Python script based on the KiCad. Let's see what KiCad library tools, I think it's called, which can then parse this master schematic and actually replace each NOFIT component with a different value depending on the variant that I want. And as far as the PCB is concerned, it's always going to be the same PCB. It's just that some components are not going to be fitted on the PCB. And here we have this is the KiCad's list of all of the components, and then we have all of our 402 NOFIT components there. I think this is satisfactory, so I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.